It's yet again another Friday. The theme this week is guilty pleasures, and I've been thinking about this for a while and coming to realize just how many I have. Yeah, that's my list. Number 1, the band You, Me at 6. Every once in a while I love just a good old You, Me at 6 song. Little Jealous Minds Think Alike, and that's kind of my guilty pleasure. It's hard to explain. I honestly don't even really know completely why they're a guilty pleasure. They just are. Number 2, 90s episodes of The Real World are amazing. So good. I kind of like all of The Real World, but I guess the latest season just was a bit of a letdown. My favorite of all The Real Worlds would have to be the season that was filmed in London. I think that was 1994 or something, maybe 96, but it's amazing. His girlfriend on Valentine's Day sent him a pig's heart with a nail in it. Amazing. That wouldn't happen nowadays on The Real World. This one's gonna be a bit difficult to explain because there's a lot to explain. It's a book called Stockholm Syndrome. It started out as a fan fiction based on the Mint Royale video Blue Song, and it's about two characters. One's Pip Valentine and the other one is Lindsay Brown, and I love them. It's such a good book, but I'm not going to admit that I read it because it's kind of inappropriate. They do some things that aren't camp appropriate, but I like it, so I'm gonna keep reading it. Shit's like my Twilight or something, and it's also terribly written. Like, I love it, but there's like spelling mistakes and you're never completely clear about who's talking, and it takes like, it's really difficult. It's not really clear and concise, and certain things aren't described particularly well. Like there's a character named Ollie. I have no idea what Ollie looks like, and another thing is that I've never realized that Lindsay had a beard until the 3rd book. And I don't know why. Maybe they mentioned it, I just didn't clue in, but in the 3rd book when they were talking about his beard, I was like, no, my entire perception of this character has changed. So it's kind of like Twilight in that way, in that like some things, Bella's entire personality, aren't really explained. But it's a guilty pleasure. People ask what you're reading, I'm just like, I don't really want to explain this because it's a long story, so I just say nothing. Back to 90s television shows. My So-Called Life. Love it so much. I don't really admit it that often that I love My So-Called Life, but I love My So-Called Life. If I was a teenager in the 90s, jeez, it would have been great. Number whatever, I can't remember. Another one that I kind of forgot to mention, 80s/90s teen flicks, aka 16 Candles and 10 Things I Hate About You. Love them like so much. Like I told Mom, I was like, if those movies are on television, I'm just gonna drop everything. Like, it doesn't matter. Because it's weird. I kind of hate teen movies or movies based in like a high school setting, but simultaneously love them. I want to have a birthday party where I'm sitting on a table with a birthday cake in like this empty house with some guy. That's like a legitimate what I want to do one day. And I guess the guilty pleasure is that I love them. I let on that I just don't like them. I don't think they're sophisticated enough. I don't even know. But I do. At least 90s and 80s ones. There's not many that came out recently that I've been too thrilled about. Easy A was good, that being said. Yeah, so these have been my extremely bizarre, awkward, me guilty pleasures. If you want to tell me yours, leave them in the comments. I would love that. If you don't, that's fine too. No pressure. And I hope that you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday, guys. Bye!